Welcome back to Crypto Strategies with Chris. My name is Chris. So crypto markets are having a bit of a bounce, which is great because we have been pretty much in a crazy downtrend. So it's nice to get a little bit of relief from the markets. And Kaspa is even more awake also. But can it pump over 4,000%? Let's get to it. So let's check out the Fear and Greed Index. We are at a 15 right now. We are still in extreme fear, and we're pretty much going to stay in this range in extreme fear until Bitcoin starts making some more powerful moves and even some of the altcoins. You can see right here, this is a Bitcoin chart. And if you have been keeping up with my videos, I have been preaching that this CME gap for Bitcoin needs to be filled. And you can see the first time we dipped to about $77,000 to $79,000 for Bitcoin, it was only a wick, so it did not close down there. Now it looks like we actually got to close and we have a strong bounce. So this should hopefully be it. I mean, hopefully we can always come back down again to try to refill it, but hopefully the traders, the people who manipulate this to go back to the CME, hopefully they are satisfied and we can continue onward. And the FOMC meeting is March 18th, so we still don't truly know which way Bitcoin is going to go. It can go up, it can go down, we don't know yet. If at the FOMC, if they decide that we're just gonna stay the same, we may still just be crabbing. We're just gonna have sideways action for a bit still, and it could be very volatile. If they do decide to cut, then we're gonna pump. But there are still rumors, or at least the majority of the people believe that we won't necessarily get a cut until June. So we don't know, but what we can do is just keep hodling, keep your Bitcoin, keep your altcoins, because sooner or later we are going to break out. This is our year, and if we have to hold until June, then we will hold until June. If we have to hold until October, then we're going to hold until October. We're going to continue this cycle the way it's been playing out because that's just the best resource we have. So you can see with the altcoins, we are at a 16 out of 100. There is no way we are in an altcoin season right now. As you can tell, it's just Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is holding strong above the 80 to 90,000, so that's great. I mean, if we would have dropped down to Bitcoin back to like 69,000 of last bull market's all-time high, then yeah, we would definitely be worried. But us still being Bitcoin dominant, that gives us a lot of hope still that we are still in a bull market. And whenever Bitcoin decides to really rip, money should flow back into the altcoins, and we will have our altcoin season. As you can see, you can barely see, but in December we did have an altcoin season. Even some here in January basically December and January. So we're gonna have to keep an eye. I'm gonna personally keep an eye on this index to see when we are above this so I can start selling, because I missed this. If I had sold my altcoins and then bought back now, like, oh gosh, I would be the greatest trader of all time, and so would you. So I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on this index so that I can make some sales. And if we were to check out this chart, this is a total 3. This is the chart that excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is all of the altcoins that besides Ethereum and Bitcoin. So you can see right here, again, we tested this level. If you haven't noticed, I'm really big on testing these levels. You can see it has a good level right here. It's bouncing off. I wouldn't have been surprised if we came back down to this level, because you can see this huge gap. So it's like almost for whatever reason, we got to come back and test these levels. But if for some reason we do continue to bounce back up from this support line, then I'm happy with that. We can test these levels in the bear market for all I care. I don't care. But let's not do it now. Let's keep pumping, hopefully, if we can. So this chart was just to give you a heads up on how we are doing. The altcoins did bounce from the support level, so hopefully we can continue forward. Hopefully this is not a bull trap, but hopefully we can start our slow grind back up as long as we continue to get some good news. We already have a pro-president for the US and everything's bullish, so hopefully we can continue our big pump until May. Now for some Kaspa news. You can see right here, recent milestones, Crescendo testnet and beyond. On March 10th, Kaspa team announced fully and successfully transitioned to BPS, completing various key Crescendo roadmap phases. launch and stabilize, identify bottlenecks, enhance user experience, additional features, testnet 10 activation. So they are bragging, which I do not blame them. They are doing a fantastic job. Kaspa versus a competition. This I thought was pretty interesting. Against Ethereum, Kaspa delivers faster native transactions without gas fee complications. Compared to Solana, it matches speed while maintaining proof-of-work battle-tested security model, appealing to those prioritizing decentralization over POS trade-offs. Emerging later one innovations like Sui, Aptos, and Sway, they introduced their own high-performance, but Kaspa's block DAG architecture offers distinct advantages through its unique combination of proven proof-of-work security and parallel processing. Unlike many newer chains focused primarily on DeFi applications, Kaspa Foundation prioritizes the fundamental blockchain priorities of speed, security, and decentralization, hence the trilemma. They pretty much solve it without specialized consensus participants, which means it's truly decentralized. No person or entity controls Kaspa. Which brings us to this next kind of interesting topic. It's funny. So you can see in this category from CoinMarketCap, top made in America tokens. And guess what we have here? Kaspa. Somehow it's made in America. I don't know if this is on accident, or I don't know if my theory, if this is on purpose. The USA is going to have a crypto strategic reserve, or at least they are working on it. And if this is truly decentralized, meaning it can kind of be anywhere, who knows, maybe the US might do something to kind of participate in the Kaspa ecosystem. Either have their own mining farms, or maybe they just accept them because they're truly decentralized, so the US is going to accept it. I don't know, but it is pretty interesting. So I hope this isn't a mistake, because we are getting a pretty good pump from this. And if it's made in America, then that would just be awesome. That's going to be a little more security for Kaspa to be like more legit. So we'll see what happens. We don't really know what's going on with this. It's just my own top of the head theory, which would be pretty awesome. Also for Kaspa, we do have some pretty cool news about its inflation. You can see in the emission schedule, January 1st, 2025, approximately 25.1 billion KAS will have been mined, 87.4%. People are celebrating that we are over 90% in circulation, which is great. And here's some of the pros that I wrote down on why it's good that we have 90% in circulation. That's way less inflation compared to a lot of these other top 150 and even top 10 of the inflation schedule. So you can see right here, pros: no inflation, no inflationary pressure, making KAS more scarce over time. And it's not 100%, but since we are above 90, it's a whole lot more less inflation compared to other tokens. And then store value narrative: as mining rewards decrease, Kaspa is like Bitcoin as a deflationary asset, which could boost its long-term value. Which again, because there's not going to be any supply going into the circulating supply, and this does create Kaspa to become more of a store of value. And then increased scarcity and demand. If demand continues to grow while supply remains nearly fixed, it could drive up the price over time. Now there's all kinds of different pros that this has, that the mining is already almost completed, and then there's cons to this as well. But right now we're just concentrating on the pros, because as long as the demand for Kaspa is there, transaction fees are there, this is what's going to help the ecosystem to keep running and growing. So I do like that Kaspa is maturing and it is growing. So I wanted to show you this video. You can see Kaspa on the very top. Right now the speed is 1 BPS. And even at that, it's pretty decent. Now I got switched to 10 BPS, and you can see how it's outperforming all of those chains right there. It's just crazy how a proof of work can have this kind of speed and keep the security and decentralization at the same time. Alright, so one of the things I wanted to show you was this Kaspa chart. You can see down here, Kaspa exploded all the way from 0.004 all the way to 14 cents. So that was a huge explosion that Kaspa had in its little run. And you can see whenever it made this run, it did come back down to retest. It made this little run and retested, found some more support. And again, we made this huge run, and we have been trying to test and find support in this area. Because you can see right here, Kaspa was around the 5 cents, but it did pop up back to 7 cents right now. So we are having a bit of a bounce. So I hope that this little area right here is getting filled, and then we can continue on. If Kaspa was to have another 4,000% launch from right here, that would put us around $1.60 from this. And the reason why I believe this can potentially happen, so this is great because we are hopefully beginning to bounce from the 4 cents. Right now we are at 7. Because we are continuing to bounce and hopefully continue on forward, we have a lot of great news that's going to be catalyst for Kaspa to continue on forward. And the best one, in my opinion, is going to be the smart contracts. So whenever they do announce smart contracts, hopefully we start to get some listings. We get Binance officially on spot Kaspa, we get Coinbase, and then we get OKX, a lot more exchanges, tier 1s. That's going to help drive the price up more and more. But the smart contracts is, in my opinion, going to be the catalyst that's going to potentially get Kaspa over to a 4,000% pump. And this is only at $1.60. If it can repeat what Cardano did, then it's going to hit a 90 billion market cap and hopefully more. So this is why I believe this is good if we get some good support at around the 4 cent range or higher, because the pump for the listings, tier 1 listings, and for the smart contracts, that's going to really help our chances to get to $1 and more, in my opinion. Now, if smart contracts come out first and then the exchanges start to list Kaspa, then that could also work as well too. That would be pretty good because that would just be more people buying and buying on top of the hype and the news of the smart contract. So either way, we just got to gauge how it's going to go. But if it can pump another 4,000%, then that will get us over $1.60, which would be great. Well, that's it for this video today. Let me know what you think about Bitcoin, Kaspa, or any other altcoins. Are we going to continue in this little bounce, or do we still have more downtime for the crypto markets? I pray that you and your family are doing well and that together we strategize ourselves into financial freedom. Press that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.